All right, so get this. We're diving into MGO Global today.
MGOL.
MGOL. That's right, for those playing the stock market game and this company's journey.
Yeah, it is something else.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wilder than a soccer fan chasing a signed jersey. We're talking messy merch 1 minute,
Yeah.
high-end flagpoles the next.
That's right.
And now they're making a splash in the maritime world.
You're not kidding. It's wild how they've zigzagged across these industries in such a short lifespan. I mean, we've got a stack of sources here. Financial statements, company profiles, market analyses.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards to really untangle the story.
So let's start with the basics. What is MGO Global's business model?
Yeah.
They launched back in 2018 down in sunny Florida, all about that lifestyle brand Life.
Right.
And in fact, they snagged the global license for the Messi brand.
Talk about kicking it off with a star player.
Tech.
Huge. I mean,
To launch with that kind of partnership.
Yeah.
A brand new company securing the rights to design and sell premium apparel for arguably the biggest name in soccer.
yeah,
I mean,
that's messy.
that's Messi. It definitely put him on the map.
It did, for sure.
But then they reassigned that Messi license in 2024.
Yeah.
Seemed like a strange move to me at first.
You know, it might seem counterintuitive, but it was actually a smart financial play.
Yeah.
They got $2 million up front from Centric Brands,
Okay.
and they freed themselves up from any future royalty payments.
Wow.
So you have to remember they were still a relatively young company at that point,
Right.
and that cash infusion,
Yeah.
combined with dodging those ongoing royalty costs, really gave them the flexibility to explore some new avenues.
Okay, so that brings us to their current claim to fame luxury flagpoles.
Yeah, their Americana Liberty brand is all about high-end, curated flagpoles.
Who knew there was a market for that?
Right. It's a niche market for sure, but they seem to have found a way to tap into it. What's interesting is that this isn't just about, slapping a fancy label on a flagpole.
Right.
They're positioning it as like a statement piece,
Mhm.
playing into that Americana aesthetic,
Right.
the desire for these unique, high-quality products.
So they're marketing geniuses, but what about the money? Can this messy to flagpoles to who knows what next strategy translate into actual profit?
Right.
Let's meet the captain steering the ship, Maximiliano Ojeda,
Yeah.
the co-founder and CEO.
He definitely has the experience. He's
Yeah.
got a background in building global brands, and he successfully led MGO Global from its inception to becoming a publicly traded company.
It's not easy.
That's no small feat.
Yeah.
And that messy deal you were talking about
Yeah.
shows he's got some sharp negotiation skills.
Yeah, that $2 million cash injection was pretty savvy.
It was.
But even the best captains need a seaworthy vessel. Let's dive into MGO Global's financials and see if this ship is built to weather any storms.
Okay, so let's put on our financial scuba gear and take a look.
Okay.
Their debt-to-equity ratio is surprisingly low, which is a good sign. So think of it like this. A low debt-to-equity ratio is like having a solid foundation for your house.
Okay.
It means they're not overloaded with debt and have more room to make financial moves.
That's a relief. But I'm seeing some red flags on their balance sheet.
Oh.
They've been reporting net losses for the past few years.
Yeah.
Not exactly smooth sailing, is it?
True, those net losses are a concern. But you have to remember, they're also seeing revenue growth, particularly from that flagpole business.
Right.
So it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
They've got cash on hand,
Okay.
but they haven't quite figured out how to turn a consistent profit yet.
So maybe not a sinking ship just yet, but definitely some rough waters.
Yeah.
What about their stock performance?
Yeah.
That's usually a good indicator of how the market perceives a company.
It is. Well, their stock price is currently pretty depressed.
Oh, yeah.
And there's high short interest, which basically means a lot of investors are betting against the company.
Hold on. Can you explain what short interest means for those of us who don't spend all day staring at stock tickers?
Of course.
Yeah.
So imagine you think a company's stock price is going to go down. You could borrow shares of that stock from someone who owns them.
Okay.
Sell those borrowed shares at the current price.
Right.
And then wait for the price to drop. If the price does drop, as you predicted, you buy the shares back at the lower price,
Right.
return them to the person you borrowed from, and pocket the difference.
Gotcha.
That's essentially what short selling is.
Okay.
High short interest simply means a lot of people are doing this.
So high short interest means a lot of folks are skeptical about MGO's future.
Yeah, they are.
Could that be because of those net losses we talked about, or is there something else going on?
It could be a combination of factors, including their financial performance. But there's another big piece to this puzzle.
Okay.
MGO Global's recent merger with Heitmar Inc.
Okay.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay. I'm all ears. What's so special about this Heidmar merger?
So Heidmar is a global player in the maritime industry. They manage shipping pools for crude oil and refined petroleum products.
Wow.
We're talking tankers, logistics, international trade routes.
A whole different world.
A whole different world from selling flagpoles and messy jerseys.
It's like they traded their sailboat for a supertanker overnight. Is this a genius move or a recipe for disaster?
It's a bold strategy, that's for sure. On the one hand, this merger gives them access to a huge new market with significant growth potential.
Okay.
I mean, the maritime industry is essential to global trade.
It is.
And Heidmar is a well-established player.
So potential for massive expansion.
Yeah.
But wouldn't this also be a huge risk? I mean, they're diving headfirst into an industry they have zero experience in.
You're absolutely right. It's a high-risk, high-reward situation. They're essentially betting the company on their ability to successfully integrate Heidmar and navigate the complexities of the maritime world.
Okay, so maybe not a complete disaster waiting to happen, but there are definitely some choppy waters ahead.
Yeah.
Let's break down the potential risks and rewards of this merger. It's time for a good old SWOT analysis.
Love a good SWOT analysis.
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Let's start with their strengths.
Okay.
MGO Global has an experienced leadership team,
Yeah.
and Osheda has a proven track record of building global brands. They've also demonstrated agility and a knack for tapping into niche markets, like they did with the flagpoles.
Right.
And let's not forget their relatively strong short-term cash flow.
Those are some solid assets.
They are.
But what about their weaknesses? Those
Uh-huh.
net losses we discussed earlier have to be a major concern, right?
Absolutely. Inconsistent financial performance is their biggest weakness right now.
Okay.
They also have limited brand recognition outside of those niche products.
Right.
And they're still quite reliant on a few key offerings. So diversification is going to be crucial for their long-term success.
So potential for growth, but some vulnerabilities as well.
Yeah.
What about the opportunities this Heidmar merger presents?
Well, the potential in the maritime industry is enormous.
Okay.
It's a sector that's ripe for disruption. And MGO Global could bring a fresh perspective with their digital expertise.
Okay.
Imagine them leveraging technology to streamline operations, improve logistics, and create a more efficient supply chain.
Yeah.
There could be some really powerful synergies between MGO Global's digital savvy and Heidmar's operational experience.
Interesting. So they could shake things up in a very traditional industry.
They could.
But every opportunity comes with threats. What are the biggest challenges they'll face?
Well, competition is fierce in the maritime world.
Okay.
They'll be going up against these established giants with decades of experience and a really complex web of relationships.
It's not going to be easy.
Plus, you have to consider global economics factors can significantly impact shipping demand.
Right.
So a downturn in the global economy could spell trouble for a company so reliant on trade.
So high stakes, high potential reward, and a whole lot of unknowns.
A lot.
It's really a gamble, isn't it?
It is. But high-risk ventures can lead to huge payoffs if executed correctly.
That's true.
It all comes down to whether MGO Global can leverage its strengths, mitigate its weaknesses, and capitalize on those opportunities while navigating the inherent threats of the maritime industry.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've explored MGO Global's unusual journey from messy merch to flagpoles.
It's been a journey.
Delved into their financials.
Yeah.
And analyzed the potential impact of this bold maritime merger.
Bold, for sure.
What does it all mean for the average investor trying to make sense of this company?
Well, MGO Global is a company in transition, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They've made some bold moves, and this Heidmar merger is their biggest one yet. It's too early to say whether this will be a success story or a cautionary tale.
Right.
But one thing is certain, MGO Global is a company to watch.
Definitely an unpredictable stock.
Yeah.
It's like they're sailing into uncharted waters.
Absolutely.
They'll either discover a new world of opportunity or get swallowed by the waves.
Exactly. And you know what's particularly interesting is that despite the market's skepticism, there's been significant insider buying of MGO Global stock.
Really?
Yeah. It seems those in the know are betting on this merger.
Insider buying, huh? That's always an intriguing sign. Makes you wonder what they know that we don't.
Indeed. It's just one more piece of the puzzle.
Well, we've taken a deep dive into the world of MGO Global, from messy merch to flagpoles to maritime mayhem. It's been quite a journey. But remember, we've only scratched the surface here.
We have. If this deep dive has piqued your interest, and let's face it, how could it not?
Right.
We encourage you to dig deeper. We've included links to all the sources we used in the episode description.
Check them out, do your own research, and let us know what you think about MGO Global's prospects in the comments below.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll conquer the maritime world or get swallowed by the waves? We're genuinely curious to hear your insights.
We are. And if you're interested in more deep dives into the world of finance, be sure to subscribe to the Stock Analytics AI YouTube channel.
We use AI to analyze stock market trends and uncover those hidden opportunities you might not find on your own.
That's right. But remember, we're not financial advisors. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions.
That's right. We're just here to give you the information and spark your curiosity.
So there you have it, folks. The curious case of MGO Global.
A company that's constantly evolving,
Yeah.
always keeping us on our toes.
Always.
They've proven they're not afraid to take risks.
No, they haven't.
Whether those risks pay off remains to be seen.
Audace.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an interesting ride.